So we are going to just start discussion on isomerism. So isomerism is basically a phenomena which is exhibited by the organic compounds, and this phenomena states that there are compounds which have a same molecular formula but different structural formula, and these compounds are called isomers. So the phenomenon is isomerism, and the compounds which show this phenomenon are called isomers. So do remember, if they have a same molecular formula, but their structural formula are different, so it means their displayed formula, skeletal formula, and name also differ from each other. Is this clear? Okay. So when we talk about the isomers, there are two types of isomers in our syllabus initially, which are further categorized into more types. So the two types are initially we can categorize as the structural isomers and stereoisomers. So what is the difference between the structural isomers and the stereoisomers? Structural isomers can be defined as the previous definition, that structural isomers are the one which have a same molecular formula but different structural formula. What are stereoisomers? What does stereo means? Actually, stereo refers to three-dimensional space. Okay, 3D space, three-dimensional space. Okay, so those compounds whose molecular formula is same, their structural formula is also same, but when we observe them in 3D space, that's what we call spatial arrangement, or when we observe them in actual 3D space, what we will find that their structure are different from each other. So those kinds of isomers are called stereoisomers and optical isomers. No? In three-dimensional space, they are different from each other. We will going to discuss in detail, so you will figure out what I mean to say. Okay. Now, there are three types of chain isomers and there are two types of structural stereoisomers. Three types of structural isomers and two types of stereoisomers. So the three types of structural isomers are chain isomer, position isomers, and functional group isomers, which are relatively very easy to understand. Yeah, it's a new thing because these you have already studied in your O levels as well, but without classification. But you do have studied the isomers in your O levels or IGCSE. Yeah, geometrical or cis-trans, one type of stereoisomer, and the second type is optical isomer. That's what we will discuss in detail in later. But right now we are going to go over with structural isomers. Okay. So till here, any confusion so far? Yes, Ahmed? Yes, Ridwan? Yes, Fatma?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So here we go. As we have discussed earlier, there are three types of structural isomer: chain isomer, position isomer, functional group isomer. So actually their name is telling you the difference. When we say chain isomer, so it means these are the isomers with the same molecular formula, but the difference in them is the number of carbons in the longest chain. Their longest chain would be different. Then these are considered as chain isomers. Then the position isomers, what happens? They are relatively very easy as well. Same molecular formula, but the position of the functional group differ. For example, if I talk about chain isomer, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the longest chain. There are 4 carbon, but I make another chain 1, 2, 3. And if I put a 4th carbon over here, see, the longest chain is of 3 carbon. The 4th carbon got in branch. And over here, there are 4 carbons. So these two are considered as chain isomer because their chain is different. Now, position isomer, as I have said, position of the functional group is different. For example, there are 3 carbon atoms and chlorine is bonded to the carbon number 1. And there are again 3 isocarbons, but the chlorine is bonded to a carbon number 2. So that makes these two position isomer of each other. Is this understandable? And the third thing is functional group isomer. So again, these compounds have a same molecular formula, but they have a different functional. Okay, so before moving towards the functional group, you need to understand the steps, because when the examiner asks you to draw the isomer, most of the time what students do, they just randomly draw different structures and they think they are isomers. So what happens, apparently it looks like that you have drawn two structures which apparently looks like different, but in actually they are the same thing. So if you draw isomers randomly, you will always or most of the time end up drawing one same thing in two different ways. So it's better to follow a order when you are drawing the isomers. So if you follow this order when you are drawing the isomers, it will be easier for you to draw all the possible isomers. So the first point or the first thing is that when you are drawing the isomers, first isomer must be most simple with unbranched structure. So it means, for example, if you need to draw the isomer of C4H10. So the first isomer, how would I draw? I would draw like this: 1, 2, 3, 4. I keep all the carbons very simple. Carbon number 1 got 3 hydrogens because it has a 3 bond. Carbon number 4 got 3 hydrogens because it has 1 bond. The carbons in the middle each will get 2 hydrogens because each would have a 2 bonds. So it is C4H10, which is the most simplest isomer of C4H10. Now I need to draw the second one. So see, next possible isomer can be drawn with a carbon chain, 1 carbon lesser than the unbranched chain, and adding that carbon to a side chain of any carbon except first and last carbon. This is really important point. What a student do? Student do make the branch like this. They put 3 carbons and then they put the 4th carbon like this. So it doesn't make it branch. It is still straight chain. So see, that's why I have added this point over here. When you are drawing the branch structure, you need to put a side chain to any carbon except first and last. So it means these are now going to be excluded. So I'm going to put the 4th carbon either to the top or the bottom of the middle carbons. Then that makes it branched. Otherwise, if I do this, for example, if I did this, the straight one, and then I assume this is a branch. So it goes wrong. Actually, these both are the same things. It's not branch. That's what you need to understand. I hope it's clear. Right? So the second thing is that you are going to make the branch like this. So that would be second isomer. Then you look for a more options, that is there any more possibility to make the branch. But now in this case, can you make any other branch? No. So it means now you can understand that there are 2 possible isomers. First is this one and second is this one. Now I cannot able to make the third isomer from this. Is this clear? So just follow the order. The first most simplest with the unbranched or a straight chain structure. Then you need to draw the branch by drawing a carbon chain, 1 carbon lesser than the unbranched chain. No, they are same thing. See, this is the thing. For example, if I did this or if I did this, they both are same. And similarly, sometimes what a student do, student end up doing like this. So this is also the same. Yeah. So that is really important. So what happens if most of the time what we get when we ask to draw the 2 possible isomers, student is drawing one this one and one this one and assuming they have drawn 2 isomers. But in actually, if you see these 3 structures, all are actually same. There is no difference in them. Yeah. The first one is the first isomer always go for the straight chain. Then the second isomer, you will decrease 1 carbon from the straight chain, now exclude first and last, and put the branch in the middle carbon. Then we look for another possibility. Is this understandable? Yes, Ridwan and Fatma?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, then repeat until all possible structures are drawn. Then change the position of functional group and keeping the rest of the structure same. So if we have a functional group, for example, like this. If I have a chlorine over here, so I'm putting the chlorine on the first carbon. So that is the most simplest isomer. Now I have a functional group, so I can change its position, right? So how can I make a second isomer? Again, I can keep the chain straight. I change the position of the functional group. So isn't it that got the second isomer? But tell me, can I change any other position? No. Yeah, if, for example, it's 1, 2, the chlorine was in second carbon, but if you do this, it's still got 1, 2. So see, these two are same. So you must understand now I am full with the possibilities with the straight chain. So it means I need to turn into a branch. So what I do, 1, 2, 3, exclude first and last, put carbon over here, keep the functional group on the first carbon, third isomer. Then fourth one would be, no, change the position. If I put over here, it's the same thing. For example, see, if I make this thing 1, 2, 3, and this one. So if I put carbon on this, chlorine on this carbon, it will become carbon 1. If I put chlorine on this carbon, this will become carbon 1. If I put chlorine on this carbon, this will become carbon 1. Okay. But if I put chlorine on this carbon can't become carbon 1. It is always carbon 2. Is this understandable? So see, first isomer, second isomer, chlorine with the straight chain and chlorine on the second carbon. Then third possibility would be branch chain and chlorine on the first carbon. Then branch chain and chlorine is on the second carbon. And if we don't have any other possibility, it means that we are done. We are able to make all the possible structures. So if you follow this order, that you need to, you will make one change in one step only, and then you will draw another structure for another chain, then you will able to draw all the possible isomers correctly. Otherwise, there is a high chance of doing mistakes. Is this clear? Okay. Now, yes, Mariam and Fatma and Ridwan, is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And yes, Ahmed, Mariam, and Nail? No, okay. Now have a look at the examples of chain isomers. For example, if I take the C4H10 we have just discussed, so that's what I did over here. See, in the first case, what I did, if I need to draw the C4H10, I 1, 2, 3, 4. I made the straight chain structure, that is our one isomer, and then 1, 2, 3, and I put the branch on the second carbon. That is the second structure of C4H10. I cannot able to make any other branch, and I cannot able to make the change the position of this branch as well. So it means that C4H10 have only these two isomers. Then you can see their names, their structural formulas, and their skeletal formulas. Is this clear? Okay. So now if I give you formula, and you guys can try making the chain isomers from this. Do it quickly. Okay. In the first carbon, you forget to show the bond. The hydrogen you made blue. So the first one is, as I have said, always the simplest one, right? With the straight chain. Yep. Yeah, try to make all possible chain isomers from this. And for chain, you have understood that you need to decrease the one carbon in the longest chain and then put the carbons. So that is the first possibility, Mariam. Good. Okay, let me see. Yes. Oh, the branch. Okay. Very good. So you made the second and third scheme line, right? The third one you are making it wrong. The first you made it correct, which is on the left. The second one you made a branch, that is fine. But in third you are doing the mistake. Yep. Yes, Fatma and with you send me. Think. Yes, see, look on the screen, Mariam did it correctly. You again decrease the chain. Now you make the longest chain 3 carbons and put the branch to the second carbon, 1 carbon above and 1 carbon below. Yeah, obviously, that's what we have discussed. Every time when you make the chain, you always decrease 1 carbon from the longest chain and put it at the branch. And remember, when you are putting it a branch, don't put it on the first carbon and the last carbon. Yes, Ridwan and Fatma, is this understandable?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay. So, very good, Mariam. Now we are going to discuss the position isomers, but that's what we will do in today's class. Okay, so here you can go a refined look of the isomers. With the skeletal formula, structural formula, name, and displayed formula all. So we are keeping it till here. And in the next class, we will start with the position isomers on Thursday. That is the same thing. See, what I did, I represented in different ways. This is the displayed formula of all three. This is the structural formula of all three. This is the skeletal formula of all three. And here you got the names of all three isomers. Is this clear? Yes, Fatma and Ridwan?
Clear, sir.
Okay. So we will continue from here in the next class, okay? Thursday, 4 to 5. Okay, take care, everyone. Allah Hafiz.